Hi there, Frank here for premium members for the trading day of February the 16th, 2026, a Monday. Before we start looking at the charts, let me just show you, if you're a new user, our premium page. So we go to membership. So when you see this premium logo, you just click on it and you can go to the premium, click on the daily analysis page. And here we go. Here's the link. You see, if you want to, you can also bookmark this page, of course, and then it will be available to you at all times. So this is the page where we discuss the upcoming opportunities on the markets as generated by our methodology. And of course, if you're new to this, please click on all these links because this is just further information about our tools, our methods, and how we see the markets, how we interpret events on the markets, very important, and everything else that you may want to know about this. Also, feel free to click on some frequently asked questions. And last but not least, we have a Excel type table here, which we call the Market Scanner Pro. And if you notice, this is the same table that we have in NinjaTrader itself. This is a crucial central point of focus for our trading. This is where we get our trading ideas from. We have detailed the information and the meaning of each column here in many videos before. Go back, look at them. I can even show you, of course. Actually, the easiest way for me to show this, just to click on the blog. Here we go. And above this table here in the blog, where you can see the same table, by the way, free of charge. You see, just as a bonus here. And let me just mention in brackets, if you have read our documentation, if you have followed us diligently, and if you paid attention, then you are able to trade successfully just by using this table. Everything you would understand, all the meanings, the quantitative, numeric, therefore objective information in these columns, which guide our behavior, and which yield the trade ideas that we're going to consider for execution. I'm not going to go into the details right now. This is all documented. You're encouraged to check these out. And if you click on the Market Scanner Pro link here, then you would be taken to another post which is more detailed. Most detailed, actually, is the documentation itself, where we devote a full chapter to Market Scanner Pro. This is the Houston of our trading methodology, so make sure that you are up to speed on this quantitative algorithmic information. And this is regardless of the time frame or the method or the level of automation that you will actually be using in your trading activities. All right, so much about a little background. Now let's start looking at the charts. And as usual, we start with the indexes, on which there's a subtle upward pressure, but no breakout yet. We have tried several times and failed so far. Now, should we get a sharp sell-off for any reason, then of course that changes the game. But until then, we are maintaining a slightly bullish bias, but we're not going to act upon that bias until we get a trigger. And for me, in this case, the trigger would be a breakout, because this looks like a breakout trade. Now, if you have been following me, then you know that instead of trading the breakout itself, I much prefer to trade the first pullback after the breakout. But if you are a breakout trader, by all means, feel free to go with the breakout. It's just that I have found in my own practice and with my own personality to wait for the first pullback, because I very much specialized over the years trading the pullbacks and understanding the psychology of the crowd as the pullback evolves. Right now on the indexes, there's nothing to do for me until I get some definite instruction actually by the market as to what to do. We are waiting for clues. As you can see, this is pullback number 3, successful pullback on the 6A. And what is still ahead of us is probably 6B, on which we are waiting for a trigger out of a beautiful complex bull flag, actually, on the daily time frame. Look at this. If you're not sure what a complex bull flag is, then please refer to our documentation. Make sure you understand the theory. We're just like knee surgeons. If two surgeons talk, they need to share the same vocabulary so they understand each other. Make sure you understand the vocabulary that we're using, and that's all defined on our website and, of course, in quality literature. Okay, and 6C Canadian dollar, long setup. Probably the 6B looks better than the Canadian. This is a bit too fuzzy for me, but nonetheless, I do expect this market to move to the upside as well. And I also want to mention Japanese yen, on which go back, watch our last two videos. We indicated that we are expecting this to become a reversal area, actually. And this is what seems to be happening. Look at this. Now, as a result, I'm very much interested and ready to go long on the Japanese yen on the breakout of this on the triggers. So markets open 6 p.m. EST is likely to get triggered and also to lead to a 1-hour trade. As you see on the 6J, there's room to go back to where we came from. So we'll keep monitoring 6J probably as the year goes on. Okay, another great setup on the New Zealand dollar here, long setup. Now remember, this is all basically the same trade against the USD, so don't pile up risk in the same direction. Okay, let's move on to some other markets here. GCSI, we're going to leave it for now. There's no real new information here. We must mention that we're long on CL, and we are struggling in this trade. It doesn't look too good here, but we're holding this, and we'll see what happens. If we get stopped out, then we do get stopped out, and we move on. Okay, and then what's next? I do want to mention that we are dealing with a situation here on Bitcoin, which could be a reversal. This could be a retest of a significant area, also a completed measured move. Now, there's no guarantees, but the 4-hour structure points towards a possible price rejection here. Look at this bottom tail. So if you do one way of doing this is you just buy a little bit of Bitcoin now and start piling up a position up to your risk limits, of course, if our theory proves valid. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. Then what is the standard practice for us, as you know, is we wait till the upper Keltner is touched on the daily, and then we'll start looking for long trades out of consolidation areas. But as you see, this is a very wide Keltner channel, so this could even take a couple of weeks. Who knows what's going to happen? But this is my thought process on MBT at the moment. In any case, let's move on to some other markets here. I do want to mention our beautiful 1R on 6B, on ZB, treasuries, long-term treasuries. Look at this, 1R. And as we said in the last video, we were expecting a trigger on the weekly time frame, which actually has happened. And if you want, well, actually, I think it makes sense to look at this trade on the weekly time frame. Also, let's move on to some other markets here. ZL, we are completed on that one. And ZW, wheat, we are playing with a 1R here, or toying with a 1R trade. Hopefully, we'll get hit. We have tightened our stop. And actually, I would say that it might be worth to keep a target or a runner back to 570, which is a level that is likely to get retested. So a host of opportunities to start the week. Also, we have a Valentine's Day special here if you'd like to indulge. And otherwise, we'll just continue practicing what we do so well, which is following our methodology with discipline on our selected markets. Also note, please, as we always say, that just because we get the trade ideas on the futures markets, which is what we do, there's no such rule that we have to actually execute the trade on the futures market. Of course, the micros are available, but also ETFs are available in many cases. So always refer to the appropriate ETFs and consider the ETFs if that's what your risk management rules provide for. So this is it for now to start the week. We'll be back soon, and until then, mindful trading.